Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Martinsville Speedway for the fourth race of Season 2 in the NRSL Aces Republic of Gamers Truck Series. On the pole for today's race is Jessica Shelton, a driver many would have thought had won or had the best shot to win the 2018 Mountain Dew Formula One Cup Series Daytona 500. However, an issue with lap traffic of cars coming out of the pit road forced her high, and she missed her pit window, went one lap too long, ultimately running out of gas coming to pit road off of turn 4 cost her a shot at the win. But today, she's looking very good at a shot in her first win, at least in my series goes. Here in the Truck Series, she's on the pole. Next to her is the Cup Series winner, John Nunn. Row 2, we got Ace Rogers and Danny Jones. Row 3, Charles Jackson and Philip Goldberg. Row 4 is Charles Sanford and Joshua Sakuli. And in row 5, we've got Gatlin Downey and Edwin Mendez. As you join us here today on this grand Sunday, the Cup Series champion was crowned, and it was Johnny Gardner who took home that championship. He will try and go for the double here this year. He's got his work cut out for him. He's 15th in the points, 48 behind points leader Samet Oskin, who comes off a win from Rockingham. Oskin starts all the way at the back of the field here on the outside line. Martinsville will be a crazy 100-lap event, though, but he's got his work cut out from him starting at the back of the field. Second in points is Zach Rogers, 15 points down. 18 down is Cole Deaver, 24 down Charles Sanford, and 27 down is Jesse Turner. Rest of the top 10 is Emmanuel Hartnett, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., R.J. Bishop, Keith Rich, and Charles Jackson. The biggest points gainer from last week's race was Audra Baran-Oscas, who jumped from 31st to 11th in the point standings. Meanwhile, the biggest loser was Joshua Sakuli, who went from 16th to 32nd. Nate Rogers went from 17th to 31st. Nathan Hudson, also with a big day, went from 40th, which was last, to 27th. John Nunn also fell from 9th to 23rd as he had issues. We've got a few more time. Let's see some more big gainers. Keith Rich went from 22nd to 9th. Sanford went from 13th back up to 4th. As a quick reminder, Zach Rogers second in the points, only driver with the top 10 in every race. That might change today. Rogers does not start well at all, and he's on the outside line. But let's go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Are you ready? Gentlemen, start your engines! Barno.
Command has been given. Trucks will start driving here. As a reminder, this is a caution-free race here today at Martinsville. Now, this is the first of 5 short track events for the season. However, we do not hit another short track for another 3 weeks. Next up is Denver and then Pocono, and then we begin the 4-race short track stretch. Pavement track at North Wilkesboro, 2 dirts at Oswego and Bristol, and then another pavement at the Motordrome before we go to a road course, a regular speedway, a super speedway, and then Homestead to finish the season. So from here on out, these weeks are going to be interesting. Green flag is out. Oh, they're jostling around there in the back already. So far, so good for Jessica Shelton. Ace Rogers, though, is going to peek to her inside. That's for the race lead. And Ace Rogers trying to complete the pass. Can he get it done? Oh, he's closing in there. Charles Jackson inching behind. Jackson has a Cup Series win as Ace completes the pass. Jackson has a Cup Series win from Iowa in 2017 in the Cup Series, so don't count him out. And more problems for Nate Rogers already on pit road here today. Likely involved in whatever lap 1 incident there was. And yeah, there was indeed someone got spun into pit road. It must have been the 14. There is a bit of a gap here. Zach Rogers, 36th place, all the way in the back. Keith Rich, Baran Oscars, RJ Reynolds. So people with problems. Reynolds can't even get his truck in the 4th gear. Well, that's going to hurt a lot of the guys who were doing good last week. There's Oskin, you see. Up only in 31st. Dylan Young's back here in 30th. Mohammed Connor, we haven't even talked about him pretty much the whole season, except I think Daytona. I just had to think for 2 seconds what the heck his first name was. And Dylan Young's making a move on him. That's for 29th place with the 29. Vince Almerega, we haven't talked about in a while. There's Sorlin. Had a good run last week. I think we have a car out of the race already. Oh no, RJ Reynolds is a lap down. I think he went down pit road. Yep, there's the 68 truck. He had an issue with 4th gear. That might have been what stemmed from the yellow. And oh, they were almost going to go 3 wide there. That was Mendez, Tony Green, and Sakuli. Can't tell if Fitzwater truck has front end damage or not. It doesn't. I think it just might be the way it's shaped. Hartnett, here he is right here in the top 20 just about. We know he was one of the best ones. One of the ones that gained a lot of spots last week. Oh wow, look at that move to cut in front of Charles Sanford. Sanford gonna dive right back down that was inside. John Nunn, you can see us falling from 2nd to 14th. Levi McIntyre in the top 10. Remember, McIntyre had something break in his truck last week that brought out a caution, and he ended up finishing the race. But it was amazing that his truck was not the one demolished. Downey 9th, Jesse Turner in 8th. This guy's 5th in the point standings. Looking at the trucks ahead of him, he might be higher than that after this race, but he is 27 points behind Oskin. Remember, the most points you gain is from finishing in the top 4. The most points you can gain in the race is 49. That means winning the race and leading the most laps, which is 2 bonus points. Right now, Ace Rogers trying to be the one to do that. Now here's Diego Yepes in 7th. Yepes was holding strong on old rubber last week without a hood on his car at Rockingham, which was kind of astounding. I do not recall where he finished. However, Yepes, coming off a single win season in the Cup Series and making the playoffs, currently sits 37th in the point standings. A lot of work cut out. There's still a lot of time for people to gain back the points they've lost. No one's out of it yet. Johnny Gardner, we talked about, almost had a good chance to win last week, but the pole sitter curse struck again. However, he's got the best finish out of all pole sitters with a 17th place run. So he sits here in 6th. Jonathan Wong running in 5th place behind Charles Jackson, as Connor Turpin, who was doing very well last week, currently sits in 3rd place today, as Ace Rogers and crew are going to catch Audra Baran-Oscus, who's about 7/10 off the pace. Looking at the 17 of Turpin, his current points position is 33rd. He went from 39th up to 33rd with his performance last week. Ace Rogers will swiftly pass the 21 truck, but up ahead, RJ Reynolds and Keith Rich are both off pace, neither getting by one another. And lap down trucks, lap down traffic as it is, that's usually the recipe that we see occur that will cause drivers to get taken out. Ace Rogers just in his own jam right now, in his own lane. Baranowskis playing a bit of a factor there in the back. Ace Rogers will move to the inside of Reynolds here in turn 3. And into the inside of Keith Rich in turn 1. And that'll help Ace get by both of them. Now Philip Goldberg, as we see at the back of this pack. Cole Deaver at the back of this pack. A lot of guys at the front of the standings, not getting good starting positions here today. So Deaver falling down to what is now 35th place. They are moving pretty wild back here. There's Zach Rogers trying to pass Oskin for what would be 29th place. Trying to make his way up through the field. He knows his brother Ace is leading this race right now. Rogers will get by Oskin for 29th. Dylan Young has been making his way up the field just a bit. Remember, he was 29th a couple laps ago. Now he's going to pass Isaac Flickinger for 24th place. So Dylan Young, your winner from Atlanta, trying to make his way up through the field. He's behind Colin Phillips, not Connor. He's behind Colin Phillips, who almost won the race last week on older tires. Stuck in traffic here today. Dylan Young's going to fly by for 23rd place. So Dylan Young, a man on a mission. Let's go on board a lap. This Universal Orlando Ford F-150. That was a lap around Martinsville with Dylan Young as he just passed Tony Green for 22nd. So Dylan Young is racking him up and knocking him down. He's going to hop in front of Green there. That was a bad decision. He probably should have stayed to his left. And now Young will be hard-pressed to not lose the positions he gained. RJ Bishop 21st, Almarego 20th. There's Rowe 19th. Here's a battle. Mohammed Connor passing Fitzwater Sr. for 16th place here, at least trying to. Looking at the top 10, not really seeing any changes there. Here's a battle for 13th between Sanford and Ellison. As these trucks continue to make their way through all the lap traffic. Ellison will clear Sanford here, coming out of 4. Lap, getting through lap truck Keith Rich. Meanwhile, Danny Jones will pass Levi McIntyre for 10th place. That'll change the top 10 running order up just a bit. Now he's trying to go on a position for Gatlin Downey, and he puts the nose in the inside of the 45 truck, just would be for 9th place. So Danny Jones trying to move his way towards the front. Off of turn 2, is he gonna? Nope, he's not. He thought better of it. Downey had that bit of a run, but now through 4, Jones will clear easily over the 45 truck for 9th place. 30 laps in the books, 70 more to go. Ace Rogers still out front. Yepes in 8th, Turner 7th, Gardner, Wong, Jackson, Turpin, Shelton up to Ace in the lead. Baranowskis has been cleared. She'll be next. See Oskin not having such a good race, trying to get back by Sam Young for 35th. Zach Rogers has found the way to get up to 25th. That could shake up the standings. We saw Cole Deaver there had made his way into the top 30. These Cup Series drivers, they have a little bit of an edge on these other guys. Dylan Youngs, he's still 24th, didn't lose a ton of time. John Nunn has fallen now down to 17th as Mike Turner is making his way up through the field. This is for 13th place on James Qualls as James Ellison has found his way up to 12th. And now Levi McIntyre trying to get back into the top 10, passing the 45 of Gatlin Downey. So McIntyre back into 10th. Ellison will be passing Downey for 11th. Ellison and Turner there, Mike Turner, making their way up through the field. Sanford getting by Qualls, so now Qualls falling back. McIntyre had to check up for the 5 truck. That's going to cost him 10th as Ellison is going to drive right on by him. So in one lap, Ellison moves from 12th to 10th. And we're seeing our comers and goers here on lap 36. Question is, will these trucks go 40 laps or 50 laps? We have seen the Cup drivers only go about 50 before, 40 laps sometimes, 45 laps. You use a lot more fuel here than you think you do because it's just such, the whole distance is the straightaways. Ellison makes his way into 10th. And when you pit, can mean a lot too. If you pit on a busy pit road, you could lose a ton of time. You want to be the first one down at this racetrack. Bit of a gap between Jesse Turner and Johnny Gardner. It's almost 2 seconds wide. Now Muhammad Connor trying to find a way by Downey. Meanwhile, Mike Turner to the inside of Qualls for 14th. Charles Sanford has fallen to 19th. He might fall to 20th if Almarego can make his way by the 8. John Nunn moving, trying to gain back a position here. That's on Isaac Flickinger. Almarego will pass Sanford for 19th. Dylan Young still 24th. Zach Rogers still 25th. Deaver 29th. Sorlin making a move on Reynolds. That's not for position. Oskin trying to get back by Goldberg here for 33rd. As Mendes has fallen to 36th. And now Ace Rogers and the others will begin lapping Audra Baranauskas for the second time today. Ace, Shelton, and now Turpin making the way to get by, and it looks like Shelton gained some time out of this. These top 3 have pulled away from Charles Jackson. Right now, basically a 3-truck race. Keith Rich will be caught next. Big question is, only about 7/10 of fall off. Do you pit right at halfway or do you stretch it a little bit? See what these leaders, the first 3 are the ones we're going to be wanting to watch. As now there's a battle for 4th between Charles Jackson and Jonathan Wong. Most action we've seen up here in the top 10, top 5 in a while. Jonathan Wong will clear Charles Jackson for 4th place. Someone's on pit road, and it's Audra Baranauskas. Not sure if it was damage related or not, but she is sitting on pit road. It appears she might have been turned. She was in the way quite a lot. Oh, there is a skid mark there. It looks like the 21 truck might have been turned down the front straightaway. Keith Rich is going to go into pit road here. So pit stop's approaching here on lap 48. Baranowskis will leave her stall. I just saw it at the top. So who pits here and where is going to be big. So far out of the top three, no one budging. Keith Rich probably pitting a little earlier since he is in the way. Lap down truck after all. We're at lap 50. When they complete this lap, it'll be officially halfway. Still no signs from any of the top three that they're going to pit. Keith Rich getting ready to come out of pit road. Ace Rogers will pass him right as he comes out. Oh, and Shelton making a move to the top side. Not sure what that was about, but the 19 and the 98 are going to pit. Turpin will stay out. Get a bonus point for leading a lap here. He doesn't want to stay out too long, though. Keith Rich is behind him on fresh rubber. Even with that damage, he's got a lot more grip in the corner than the 17. But Turpin will pit this time by. Yepes had stayed out. Ellison had stayed out. Are they going to come in? No, Yepes will stay out on the track, as does Ellison. As the trucks from the back of the field that had pit on the first lap getting ready to come out of the stall here. Now Yepes and Ellison will pit. 54, I think, was the next one back. Indeed, he was. He's going to pit. Qualls is already on pit road, so now we must go back to the 19 of Ace Rogers, who is already out of pit road. He is in front of the 4 of Charles Jackson. Still not positive if he's the race leader still or not. Do not see the 98 in front of him on the ticker, so I believe he is. 4th place there at the line. Charles Jackson has somehow moved up to 5th. A lot of trucks getting lapped here from this pit cycle. .45 laps to go, and the race leader is Ace Rogers. Jackson 2nd, Gardner 3rd, Shelton down to 4th, Jesse Turner 5th, Jonathan Wong 6th, Yepes 7th, Ellison 8th, McIntyre 9th, and Mike Turner rounds out the top 10. So let's see who lost positions. Rose up to 11th. Deaver made it up to 20th. Zach Rogers down a few spots to 27th. Goldberg made it up to 25th. Let's see who is a lap down. Sorlin is. Dylan Young fell a lap down. Sam Oskin has retired from the race. Wow, one race after going and winning at Rockingham, he's going to finish last. And that is going to shake up the point standings big time. He will not be the points leader leaving today, that's for sure. Not really seeing anyone else big. Oh, the 17 fell a lap down. So staying out that extra lap apparently was not a good idea. He got stuck in traffic on pit road. Right now, though, Ace Rogers leads. The only one close to him is the 4 of Charles Jackson. Trying to find some battles somewhere, maybe where the 1 truck is. There's Yepes. Alexander Rowe was 11th a few laps ago. He's making his way all the way up to 8th. Mike Turner has found his way up to 7th. So some trucks here running some really fast lap times. Charging their way towards the front. Right now, the best thing for these guys back here is a 5th place finish. Fastest lap of the race 2 laps ago was by Mike Turner and Alexander Rowe. Those guys up to 7th and 8th. Ellison 9th. Yepes was 10th, but he's going to lose that position to Levi McIntyre. Next week is Denver, a new track. First time anyone will be on it. Danny Jones really dive bombing Keith Rich there. That's a teammate. Denver set to be an interesting show for sure. Cup Series drivers, unsure if they will go there or not. Or, well, schedule's been set for 2019. Depending on what the Truck Series drivers show, a race could be pushed off the schedule for Denver. We will see what happens when we get to Denver next week. So McIntyre up to 10th, but Danny Jones is there in 11th, really lurking. While Mike Turner really closing the door in on Jonathan Wong. That would be for 6th place. These guys going through RJ Reynolds right now. Charles Jackson not gaining, not really losing any time on. Ace Rogers still a 2nd and a dime back from the 19. Wong will get by the 68 with ease. Mike Turner, next one up on that board. He'll get by him off the corner. But Dodge looking to get, or Ram that is, Ram looking to get their first win. As actually Jessica Shelton made her way into 3rd. I didn't even realize that she had passed Gardner. Gardner was 3rd place, I believe, when the cycle was done. So Shelton getting back by for one of her positions she lost. But somewhere on that pit road she lost 3 seconds to Ace Rogers. Jackson with a bumper pull of RJ Bishop. Bishop pushes wide. That'll give Jackson some room. Jackson only with 1 truck in between him and Ace Rogers, and that's Tony Green, but Jackson is losing time as Ace runs behind Mohammed Connor and older brother Zach Rogers, who's in 27th. Meanwhile, up ahead, Edwin Mendez, Philip Goldberg, Jeff Bright, Joshua Sekuli battling for position behind Nathan Hudson. Sam Young was running near the back, but his early pit strategy moved him up to 21st. Same thing happened with Deaver, moved up to 20th. And Almarego 15th, Sanford 14th. Turpin, something happened to him, man. He was running third, now he's 32nd. And behind 13th place, Gatlin Downey. Yepes now down to 12th. Jones still 11th behind McIntyre. Ellison trying to get by Rowe for 8th place. As Mike Turner will move to the inside of Varan-Oscus. And soon, the 68 of RJ Reynolds will be fighting Varan-Oscus for 38th. Ellison makes the move on Rowe. Ooh, contact with the 21 right off the corner. Ellison clears the 21 here down the straightaway. Rowe looking to the inside of Ellison down the front. Think better of it. Now he's pushing the envelope, and to the inside goes Alexander Rowe. Very good battle here between these two Chevrolet rookies. Or actually, I'm sorry, Rowe is not a rookie. My mistake. Good battle between these two Chevrolet trucks for 8th place. And Rowe will get right on back by. Rowe has that Cup experience over the 20 of James Ellison. But Ellison showing some decent promise here today, running in the top 10. Looking at the point standings, Ellison currently rests 18th in the points, up 2 spots from before Rockingham. If they can continue getting better every week, they could find themselves in a position to go after a championship. Mike Turner still chasing Jonathan Long, Jesse Turner. Gardner sits in 4th now with a truck between him and Jessica Shelton, who is beginning to climb up the ladder here with 21 to go. 2.78 seconds now behind Ace Rogers. But there are a lot of trucks in between them. Charles Jackson trying to get by RJ Bishop. It's the fall back in line. Ace Rogers just running patiently behind here. Let's go in the cockpit of the 19 truck. Mirror there, see him trying to find the right line. Look at the RPMs up there, 9,200 RPMs right into the corner, all the way down to about 5,000 right here. That's how short they set these gears. He's going to look to the inside of Connor, trying to put that driver a lap down. Go to the spectator cam all the way here, all the way at the top of the grandstand. You can see the back straightaway very clearly. Ace will clear the 13. And now he runs behind older brother slash team owner Zach Rogers. Charles Jackson continuing to lose time on the 19. Shelton had closed in a little bit. She is barely closing in now. It'll be 15 laps to go at the start-finish line. Deaver finds himself up to 18th place, so Deaver making some late race gains. Will Ace put his older brother a lap down? I think he will. He doesn't want to get put to the top now. Jackson still trying to find the way by RJ Bishop. See 3 trucks between Jackson and Ace Rogers. 2 trucks between Shelton and Jackson, but Shelton continuing to close time on Ace. He's got a decent gap between him and the 3 and the 13. Kind of went a little wide into turn 3 that time, but it's going to let Sack get away just a little bit. That let Shelton gain another 10th and a half, as now Connor's peeking to the inside of the 19 truck. Did he get there? And he did. This could change everything if Tony Green closes up fast enough. And Green will not close up fast at all. He didn't really even close up at all. And Jackson now finally to the inside of Tony Green. Shelton just got by Dylan Young. RJ Bishop has been a real pain in the butt for Charles Jackson. But he finally completes the pass on the 88. Now he's charging for the 11 of Tony Green. Right off of turn 2. Oh, this is not what Ace wanted to see at all. Charles Jackson with a late race charge. He might be a rookie in the truck series, but he ain't no noob driver. Right up behind Ace Rogers now, who's having problems with the 13 as the 3 and the 13 have caught Keith Rich. Bishop will pass the 11. That's for not even for position. Now Ace to the inside of Muhammad Connor again. Oh, he got loose off of 2. Depending on how Jackson runs his line, Zach Rogers is borderline about to wreck Keith Rich, who is family to one of Zach's best teammates, Andrew Rich. They will pass. He will get by the 7 there. It's not even for position 8. Ace is to the inside of the 7. Jackson can't even get to the inside of Muhammad Connor. Oh, and he's about to push the envelope, and he turned the 13 truck into the wall, right in front of Sorlin. Do they wreck? They kept it together. Shelton backs out. Charles Jackson not screwing around here, coming to 7 to go. If he had turned the 13 truck even more, it could have been a giant pileup off of turn 2. That cost Jackson a lot of time. Now he's got to get to the inside of Keith Rich and start catching Ace Rogers once again. They've just caught RJ Reynolds with 6 to go. Baran Oscus is a little bit down the road. I don't know if they'll catch her. Zach Rogers to the inside of the 68. Ace has got to be patient here, but Jackson's got a bumper full of RJ Bishop. Shelton is close behind. If Jackson gets put to the outside, Shelton might have a chance to get another 3 points here at the end of this race. Meanwhile, James Ellison has found his way into 7th. 4 to go. Jackson to the inside of Reynolds. Ace Rogers just riding behind big brother Zach. Jackson is 6/10 behind them. Can Jackson get aggressive here with 3 to go? Ooh, I think he got loose off of 4. Bishop's peeking inside, and Bishop gets to the inside of Jackson, and I think that might do it. Bishop has had a pretty strong truck this entire last run. Bishop's charging towards Ace Rogers now. 2 laps to go here at Martinsville. Sorlin sits between Shelton and Charles Jackson. Will they catch the 21 truck? I don't see her. Oh, Bishop's charging on the 19 though. Oh, he's right there at the white flag. Bishop's gonna put Ace Rogers on the high side. Can Jackson get there? Is Ace gonna let him go? No, he doesn't. Into turn 3. Does Jackson have enough time? No, he won't even get there. Checkered flag is waving. Ace Rogers will win at Martinsville. And he will become the first completely new driver to win. He has not been in Cup before. So Ace Rogers, the first complete, full-out rookie driver to the series, gets his first career win and first step in the direction of a Cup ride. Maybe in 2020, maybe 2019, you never know. Things change, things happen. It's a winter off season. But Ace Rogers, man, that was a pretty good finish. You know, the lap traffic. That lap traffic plays a big role. Charles Jackson comes home second. Shelton third. Wong fourth. Ellison fifth. Wow, Ellison made it up to fifth at the end of that thing. Jesse Turner sixth. Rowe seventh. Gardner went down to eighth for some reason. He must have had some kind of problem. Mike Turner ninth and Levi McIntyre 10th. So you look at the rest of your race results. Again, Sam and Oskin with the problem finishes last. Tough break for him. But we have 10 more races to go already. It's hard to believe. Next up, we go to Denver, the new track. 44 laps of action at that 2.25-mile raceway. Basically it's a quarter-mile longer auto club with flatter corners. That's how I kind of describe it. But I will see you guys then. I hope you enjoyed the race. Once again, Ace Rogers, your winner here today at Martinsville. I'll see you guys next time.